Guys, Caleb here, and today I have an incredibly exciting review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the LEGO Ideas Ship in a Bottle. It has 962 pieces and will retail you for $70 in the United States. Hopefully in this review I can clear up if this set is worth it for you or not. Now this set has actually been out for roughly 4 years. It's actually one of the older idea sets that you can buy right now. It actually retired about a year or two ago, and then just last year in 2020 they brought this thing back. They didn't really change it at all, but it's the same box and same pretty much everything. They pretty much just brought it out of retirement along with the Saturn V rocket, which I personally think is a very good idea because this is an incredible set, and I think it's good that this is getting so much time for you to buy it. And it will most likely be out for another year or two, as LEGO just pulled this out of retirement last year. However, I'm not sure when this thing will be retiring, so you might want to pick this up as soon as you can. And in this review, we're going to see if this is a good set for $70 or not. Let's take a look at the instruction manual. I really like this instruction manual because it almost looks like a ship behind there. You can see some ink and kind of like a sunset over what seems to be like a pirate window or some window in a pirate ship. It has the fan designer there and the LEGO set designers on the left or on the right, along with some really cool sketches of the actual boat and the actual ship, which is really cool. Has this in quite a few different languages, and then also has the actual instructions for the model. Interestingly enough, holds the record for the most pieces in one LEGO step. So this is 284 blue studs in one LEGO step that you literally just pour in there, and it's the most pieces in one LEGO step, which is very interesting and something that makes this entire building experience very, very unique. You can see there's an ad for the Saturn V rocket and some other sets on the back there, but very, very cool instruction manual. I really like the instructions. For the actual ship itself, it is one of my brother's least favorite sets he has because he's more into play models and models you can play with versus display, whereas me as like a collector, I really like to display my models. He's sort of the opposite way around. So this wasn't exactly his cup of tea. However, I think it is absolutely incredible looking. Obviously this set isn't for everyone. This isn't for little kids or people who want to play with it, but as a collector, from a collector's standpoint, this looks incredible. The cool part about the set is it's actually built on this very nice stand, and it actually lifts right off of there. It's not actually connected in any way, but it's connected with these really cool arch pieces, and so it just sits atop there, and it kind of keeps in place pretty well. You want to grab it one hand by the stand and one hand by the actual bottle, or just by the stand. It is pretty stable. Obviously, you don't want to be shaking this around or playing with it too much, otherwise it might fall off the stand and break, but it does look quite nice on the stand. The actual stand itself, it looks quite cool. It actually uses this purple headpiece along with this globe piece, and if I grab the other one here, see if I can do this one-handed, but you can actually press it onto there, and it is a globe piece that does spin around. Exact same with this side, which is really cool. It has a Leviathan, which I believe is the name of this ship. I really like the color scheme of this brown and gold. Makes it look like it's like a wooden stand, which is really cool, with little bits of gold on there, and it even has a compass, which is really cool because it's actually an entire radar dish that's flipped upside down. That's actually locked in there. You can't spin it all, but you can also put the needle in there, and the needle does spin around a little stiff, but it is nice, and this is quite an epic stand for a set. I like how it's not just, like an all-black boring stand. This kind of stands out, but also looks very wooden and complements with the colors of the actual ship very well. If you didn't want the stand, I suppose you could just display the bottle on its own, although I do think it looks better on the stand. Even tip this up and maybe even just empty it out and put like brown studs in there if you want to pretend it was beer or something. And you could really do a lot of things with this as just sort of a bottle without the actual ship inside. You can take the ship out. We will take that in a minute. I also saw a really cool thing that Ashton Flash did where he took it off and actually converted the entire thing into a vase for the LEGO flowers, which was really cool. So he had a vase of flowers along with it, which is really neat. I might link that in the description, and it does look pretty good, straight up. Like, you could act like this is a bottle of bourbon or whatever you want. I mean, I don't know. Big problems with this set is it's a little bit hard to actually get to the inside. Although it is possible, it's a little bit difficult to actually get the ship out of there. However, it is possible. I wish it was just easier. So what you do is you pretty much take this thing off, or, and then you take these ends off, and you can also pour all of the water out of here. Actually have to do is the top is locked in place with these windows, which I find good. It makes it very sturdy, but it also makes it a little bit hard to take apart, I say, as my tripod falls over. Yeah, you pretty much have to take these two little pieces off, and then this entire part you just sort of break off along with this part, and then you are all set to go. It's actually clicked in place into there by some studs. You have to be quite careful because the sails are a little bit fragile, but you can kind of wiggle it out of there. Got to make sure that the sails don't really fall off, and you can get the entire ship out of there. Quite hard to get out, but once you have it out, it's pretty neat. And I don't think this is something you'd really be doing a ton with the set, which makes sense. The actual pirate ship myself, it's probably my favorite part of this entire set. This thing is so packed with detail. It's so cool for such tiny of a model. So small, but so packed with detail. It is very, very fragile. Like, these sails do tend to get kind of bent out of place pretty easily because it's a pretty, like, weak connection that they're in. But I do think that's fine because it's mostly going to be in the bottle and not out on its own. However, it looks great, and I feel like you could definitely put this in, like, a pirate mock or something, and it would fit right in. You've got the sails and everything with this really cool design on them, but you've even got the brig you can kind of see down there. Great, that's kind of representing the brig, which is super cool, and there's even like a little porch or area on top with the even steering wheel, which is incredible. We also have this flag, which I'm not sure why it's on a green clip. It would have looked a lot better if it was on a red clip. For some reason, this is on a green clip, and I don't quite like that, but the back looks very nice. You even have the little cannons here with the cover. The bottom is quite nice as well. And it just looks so cool, so detailed for such a small model. And honestly is one of the best Lego boats I've ever seen. Because it's so tiny, they packed so much detail into this. It is absolutely incredible, so loaded down with detail. I love this part of the set. It is my favorite part of the set. I guess I'll also show how you kind of put it back into there. So it has those four little pieces there, and that is sort of what this thing fits into. Obviously, you have to be pretty careful because these sails are rather fragile. But once you have it in there, you just sort of press it down, and it is sort of in there. However, you also need to get this window panel, and as you can see, this actually goes right over top of the sails there. After that, you put a couple other window pieces on, put these bricks here to stabilize it, and then of course you put these four big window panels that I heard they brought back from an old Lego theme for this set specifically. And you put those right back on there. I lost the other two. Oh, here they are behind me here. And we can just put these right onto here. And then the very last step, you kind of got to make sure they're all lined up, is you actually take the top of it, which actually has this really cool cork and the initials of the actual designer, the Lego designer of the set. I wish it was the actual person who made the Ideas project and not just the designer, so that's a bit of a shame. But you can just kind of press that down onto there. And once you have that done, voila, you are done. The entire ship is back in there. You sort of have to kind of even the water out, but it looks quite good once it's in there. A little bit hard to get in and out, but once you have it in there, it looks quite neat. If you didn't catch it already, this bottle looks really, really cool. The bottom was incredibly complex to build with hundreds of these little pieces that line up like that. So that was super hard to build according to my brother, but it ends up looking really cool, and it creates this really cool base from these like 1 or 200 tiny clear pieces that looks really complicated to build for sure. Obviously, as I said earlier, it just sort of rests in there loosely, and it is pretty cool with the actual stand. And that's really how the set looks best, is when it's with the stand. It looks good on its own, stand looks good on its own, but together it looks incredible. This is the best idea set we own. Maybe, I don't know, either this or Steamboat Willie, two incredible sets. But this set is absolutely incredible, and maybe the best idea set we have. It's really, really good, and I would highly recommend this set. At the end of the day, should you buy the Lego Ideas ship in a bottle, I would say I guess go for it. I really don't think I can recommend this set much more. It is so cool. It is such a cool set. I'm gonna give this thing a solid 94 out of 100. Really almost perfect. I wish it was easier to actually access the ship inside. That would make this even better, although, you know, it does kind of make it pretty sturdy. It would be really nice if it was a lot easier to actually get this out. Is it worth the $70? I would say, yeah. I think it's pretty worth it. I mean, it's a really premium display model, really. It's not exactly made for kids, it's more of a display model. At the end of the day, though, it's really hard to find that many faults with this set at all. Like, it's really, really, really good. And I would definitely recommend this set for anybody on the fence about it. And make sure to pick it up before it retires for a second time. This is Super Productions signing off for now. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my latest content. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.